Oh, looks like the rain turned to ice. And the mountain we were on yesterday, it's got snow on it this morning. Yeah, a little frosty, I'd say. Well, we're gonna go for a little walk. The quads are a little bit stiff from yesterday's hike. And I put something a little bit brighter on Pixie. With the idea too that maybe it would be confusing if we do cross paths with a grizzly. To see something that has that brighter green, less likely to think of it as prey. At least that's the rationale. I don't know if this will catch it or not, but right at the edge of the forest, way up on that hump in the middle of the screen, there are elk up there. They're up there a ways. There's no way I'll be able to see them on a camera. I doubt. This is like 3.6 on the magnification on my iPhone. This is why I like exploring. So this route isn't on Gaia, but check out the view if I can get the camper up here. I know, it sucks, right? And then if I move come on. The survey says, big. You're a silly boy, 2x. And as you can see, nothing too shabby about the view. A little bit of today's hike. Keeping it for grizzlies. And up to some peaks. Not super high, under 3,000 feet. Just deviate it a little bit to the right just to have a better view. Well, I'm just making my way to the top of this ridge. Hit that like button if you haven't subscribed. One time a tree tried to give it a go here. Bell. Let's roll. Few of them. Oh. So you can see right down in here, that's where I hook a left to follow up to get to that mountain. And again, the sheep are just underneath that kind of triangular dark cloud. I mean goats, sorry. There looks to be one, two, about 7 anyways. I know I saw one up there the other day, so it's hard to see from here if there is one. Come on, girl. I find it hard to believe, but I just spotted the goat I saw the other day. Now he's in a shaded part of the mountain. So basically you can see this sort of green smile, if you will. And to the right, top of the smile, into that dark shady spot, and to the left lower arm of it, right in the middle. There he is. But I guess it's a he, because he's all by himself. Cool. So it's pretty with some of the yellow mixed in. I'll zoom in a little bit here. You saw that earlier potentially. But it's a nice little spot. And see the yellowing is beginning. And I think there's a trail on that ridge. And I wonder if it goes all the way up to whatever those white caps are up there. Maybe we'll better see when we're on that peak. Looks like a good lunch spot. So we're getting close to the peak. Just taking in the view. It's actually a longer and higher hike than I thought it was going to be. But the day has turned out to be awesome. All right, I guess this makes it official. We're to the top. Gonna have lunch up here. I know, sucks. Yeah. Okay, so that is Sugarloaf Lookout. That's why there's some type of structure up there. And it shows you coming from the west side to get to the top. I'm going to guess 5-6 kilometers by ATV trail to get to the trailhead. I'd almost like to, which I don't think I have it in me, get my fat bike up there and then ride that ridge. Way down. I decided to take a break from the office and step out on the balcony. Been a hard day at the desk. I just thought, deserve a break. So stop here and
if you haven't subscribed,
get this balcony view and watch the traffic go by. In Ontario, I believe you have to wear orange when you're out deer hunting. I haven't seen anybody wear orange out here except for a couple horseback riders because it is hunting season and there are people out for elk and moose. So while we're backpacking, I try and wear a bright shirt. I got this orange reflective sleeves on this camel shirt that someone gave me from Pennsylvania. And I'm making lots of noise because I am in grizzly bear and cougar and black bear country. And apparently this area is one of the more dense areas for grizzlies. So I do carry a few things to help protect us, not that they are guarantees. One I carry is a bear banger. Basically, you pull the hammer back and the shell shoots off, makes a bang, there's a flare, But you've got to use that when the bear's a good ways away, not close. In fact, if he's too close and you shoot it, the bang might go off behind them and spook them your way. And the other thing is, I carry bear spray. It's the best protection you can have. Now, it's not a guarantee, and you got to be mindful of the wind, and he's got to be close to get him. Like, we're talking 25 feet, 20 feet. So, but my greatest challenge is the fact that bears and wolves don't get along at all. And so I have 2 dogs, and bears don't like dogs. Sorry, the wind blew the phone off. It's just wedged in a log. But yeah, bears do not like dogs. So that's my greatest thing. I can't let them get too far ahead because they're out of my sight. And a bear sees them, they run back to me. Guess what's coming? Yeah, the bear. So, and that puts them already in that mindset of chase, prey, you know, flee, or I forget the expression, but you know, so that is my biggest worry. Now, the other thing I carry with me is a knife. Now, you know, Australian dudes would say, that's not a knife, but you never know. I mean, every bit helps, and it's just handy to have a knife for different things as it is. So, I hope I never have to use anything against a bear. A bear banger I'd be fine with. I've had to use a bear banger, and it did change the mindset of the grizzly, and he went on about his business rather than directing towards me. I've pulled the bear spray before, but after a couple times yelling at the grizzly, this was out on a canoe trip, a solo trip, and the grizzly turned and went downstream. So again, thankful for that. You know, you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to get first aid or help if you get yourself in trouble with something like a grizzly, because they often go for the head or your buttocks. And I've heard stories where people say they could hear their skull crush. So that's an experience I don't ever want to have either. Plus, you know, when those kind of encounters, if you survive it, the bear's going to get killed too. So I don't want to be part of a bear's demise either. So I'm trying to be loud, yell at the dogs regularly, keep them within eyesight, and pretty impressive wolf scat. I mean, they're huge. Oh, that's the boss speaking. She's telling me that I've been standing around too long again, so that's my cue. Cheers. As well, the Yukon Ministry, Wildlife and Game Warden, they have a really good video on how to avoid encounters and what to do when you do encounter grizzlies. And they don't recommend bells. They say that studies show that the bells actually irritate them more than distract or take away from. It's better when you have music playing or people talking, and really you're supposed to ideally be in groups of 3 people. Well, if I've waited till I found 2 more people to hike, it never happens. So it's me and 2 dogs. When you're in bear country, you play bear safe. Making our way back, trying to avoid stepping on any vegetation because it's going to take a lot to grow up here. I mean, it's not clearly not soil. So, and any trees that try to seem to have a pretty good struggle. It's on the way down. I really have to make sure the dogs try to keep up because here's some doo-doo.
this is where I'm rushing to see the coolest helicopter pad at a fire watchtower, and the larches are in a golden yellow throughout the hillside. Follow, subscribe, like, check out the next video on this hike.